Before we get underway, injury update. Peyton McCollum, yesterday in practice, had a foot injury, so he'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. So,
Mm-hmm.
but going to questions for Coach.
I imagine you anticipated there would be a lot of eyes on you at Iowa, but there's people taking videos of you interacting with officials. You've been asked about some interactions you've had with your players. Been asked about stepping out of the huddle. Are you ever at all surprised by just the level of attention that you and this program have?
No, not really. I mean, I probably had not this kind of attention, but I don't really pay attention to it as much unless I get asked about it. It's just the nature of the platform that you have, and so you can use that platform for good, or you can use it for bad too, I guess. But you know, that's why we wanted to be here, so that you do have that platform to try to, you know, make a difference. And so it doesn't bother me, and it's. I honestly, it doesn't probably affect me as much as you would think. I don't probably pay attention to it enough.
Was there anything that you took away from that loss in Minnesota after, being able to review everything again?
Yeah, we just got stuck again. We continue to get stuck. I think part of it is it's hard to leverage some things on the offensive side of the ball, which we kind of knew going into the season. So you have to be creative. You have to play with a little more pace. You have to do some things, and then if we're not tuned up, like if we're not, I always say, like, there's two things. There's Clark Kent, and Clark Kent doesn't have superpowers, and then there's Superman, and if you don't use your superpowers, then all of a sudden you become Clark Kent. You're not very good, and part of that is just being ready and being at an intense level consistently. Whether we like it or not, there's probably some sickness. Maybe that was, I probably overestimated or underestimated kids were sick. But that's no excuse. And then what you have to do is still find a way to get ready, because I still have to go to work, if I'm a little under the weather. And so we just need to be a little bit better there, which we will. And then, just making sure that we move forward. It's still the Big Ten. Like, it's still a tough league. Like, these are the kind of games that happen. And like I've said in every single interview, is there's going to be ups and downs, and that's just one of those downs. And Minnesota played well too. Like, you have to give credit there. Like, they're trying to win the game as well.
Do you get health-wise with the sickness? Are guys moving in the right direction?
Some moving the wrong. Yeah. So it's hit or miss right now, but it's just everybody's going to experience it, and everybody probably has. So that's not something we're going to use as any type of excuse whatsoever.
You talked about the hour, 2 hours before a game being kind of an anxious time for you, a little bit, or you don't enjoy it because you just want to get to the
Game day misery.
You were running the stairs at Hilton. Do you get a pregame workout in every game day, or is that just that day?
Yes, every day.
Is it stairs every single time?
No, it's wherever I can find a place. Last one I had to run back and forth in a hallway. So wherever I can find a spot on the road, and then here it's easy. I can find a spot pretty quick.
And then when did that start, that you would do a pregame workout?
A long time ago. It just kind of takes the edge off a little bit, and helps you sharpen your focus. Like, I'm the guy that if you're driving long distances and you're tired, rather than pull over and take a nap, I'll get out and do a 30-minute workout, and I'll be awake. And so I always felt that helps your mental focus quite a bit.
Bennett said after the game he feels like maybe when things aren't going your guys' way, especially on the road, he felt like things could get a little bit too negative. Like, do you have a sense for that? How do you or is that something you're seeing at all?
No, no, I don't think it's negative. I think it's probably. No, I mean, that game maybe, because we just didn't give a ton of effort, and so then you're just, as a group, you're just like, no, you got to go hard, and it's like, well, you're not going hard either. So then you kind of look at it like that. I would say Iowa State, we had no issues on the road, and then Michigan State was the other one, and that was just an off game. So I don't think so. I think it's probably more that things aren't going to go perfect, and you have to still be able to win. That's the thing that we have to continue to learn, is things just aren't going to be perfect consistently. And it's just more difficult to leverage things offensively on the road. That's the thing that we struggle with right now. Is you can leverage Bennett a little bit. We're struggling to leverage the back end. Whether it's if somebody sets a screen for Bennett, that guy needs to be able to score too, and that's where we're struggling a little bit.
What challenges does Illinois present you guys on?
A whole lot. Yeah, they're the biggest team in Division One, I think, like average height. So they're huge and they're skilled and they can shoot. They can do a variety of different things offensively, and then defensively, they've really improved throughout the year. So they don't have a lot of holes, and they've got a lot of size. And so, for us, we just need to do us, compete and fight, and see what happens.
What are the last, just coming off Minnesota, the last couple of days of preparation? Like, how do you feel like guys have responded, I guess?
Good for the most part. We had an okay practice yesterday, not elite. We had a few of our kind of energy guys out, and so that hurt it a little bit. And then today, hopefully, it's going to be a great practice. But we're learning, so sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's like, okay, we need to adjust some things so that we can be able to win some of these games on the road like this. So part of when they learn, sometimes it kind of kills the energy a little bit. So I would say solid practice, solid response. I mean, we don't have guys that are going to quit on it. Like, they're going to keep fighting and stuff like that. And again, it's not doomsday. It's kind of part of the ebbs and flows of a season.
You said you like to make like redshirt decisions in the second half of the season. Are you at that point with Peyton given the injury?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, he has to now, just because he's not going to be able to play the rest of the season anyway. So, yeah, I mean, most of the guys that haven't played, I guess it's just him and Trey, more than likely will be, redshirted. But again, I've seen crazier things happen.
How much do you game plan or adjust to the fact that, like, the opposition is game playing so much to try to stop Bennett? Like, how do you try to adjust knowing that that's what their game?
That's the daily deal. That's the hardest part. Because you have to leverage other sides. Like, you can't just leverage Bennett. You have to leverage whoever's screening for him and then everybody else surrounding him. And as those, younger guys get older, they're starting to, and have more experience, they're starting to become better and better at leveraging themselves. And when they start to do that, then it becomes more difficult for us to defend. The other thing we have to leverage just the pace of play. The first half of UCLA, our pace was really good. And I don't mean pace like shoot the ball quick pace. I mean getting from action to action very, very quickly. And then the second half, it got stuck. And when it gets stuck, then you have to leverage, like if you set a ball screen, set something for Bennett, and then there's a backside to that, meaning there's another guy that's setting that. And if they put two on Bennett, that guy has to be just as much of a threat as Bennett to create those rotations. Otherwise, you have to do it with pace and being able to attack the paint and stuff like that. And so, we need to find that secondary leverage, and then we also need to make sure that we play with pace, get from action to action a lot quicker than we are. And you have to do it into the second half as well.
How do you feel like you guys handled playing a long stretch without Bennett against Minnesota?
Really good. Yeah, I thought we played with pace. Yeah, I mean, I thought we got stuck to start the game. I didn't think we got from action to action. And then he went out, and we actually played with pace. And that was great. And then he came back in, and it was just trying to get that rhythm back again. And again, second half, I think the last about 10 minutes we did much better offensively. They were doing a lot of switching late. And again, we just couldn't get in and out of actions quick enough. It just gets stuck, and we have to make sure that it doesn't stall out.
You've talked a lot about building this program from the fan support side. Obviously, had a good crowd for the UCLA game.
Mhm.
Sounds like the Illinois game is going to be even better. I know you knew that it was possible to get crowds like that, but just for the first time to see a crowd like that for the UCLA game, and then obviously what you've heard for the Illinois game, just how exciting is that for this program?
I mean, it's exciting. This is part of the build, and we want people to be a part of it, like we've said. And we've also said that there's going to be ups and downs to what you do, but I think people can see that it's trending the right direction. Whether it goes, like this on the way up, there's going to be some dips, and there's going to be some serious, I thought UCLA was a serious, I think they're a top 25 team. And that was like one of those big upswings. And then you go to Minnesota and, it kind of downswings a little bit. And not because you lose the game. I think sometimes outcomes or results can kind of distract you from really what's happening. I thought the second half we didn't play great against UCLA. And I didn't think we played great at all against Minnesota, and that had a lot to do with them. But as far as the fans go, that's helping us build this thing the right way. And I think they can see that we have great kids and we're doing things the right way. And we certainly appreciate it and will continue to appreciate it throughout the season.
During post-game radio, you said it seemed like you were pleasantly surprised by Brendan's defense.
Mhm.
Could you expand on that comment a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think he kind of exemplifies what we want from a kid from a character perspective. I mean, you have to think like he's a really good basketball player that averaged 9-10 points a game at Kansas State, and he comes here and he's not playing as much as he probably would like. Obviously, I mean he shouldn't like it, but he is probably our most vocal player on the bench. He's one of our most vocal players in the huddles, and it's not an act. It's genuine things that he's saying and engagement that he gives. And so when he comes in, he knows the scout just as good as anybody. He's going to fight and he's going to defend and he's going to do the things that he needs to do. But I thought he did a good job of executing the scout. I thought he did a good job of keeping that guy out of the paint for the most part. And then obviously offensively, he can really fill it up. So he's been awesome for us. I mean, I can't say enough about how hard that has to be for him and how the character that he has and how he shows that to his teammates is pretty impressive. I wish people could see that because that's as impressive as it gets.